Welcome to the Leadership Transition course. In this module, we will look at the topic self-personality check and specifically be asking the question, who am I? So we will try to look at what does asking the question, who am I means, and what should you look at or the things you should consider when you ask that question to be able to move further. So basically, if you talk about the question, who am I? You're basically talking about your identity. In other words, you want to know what is it that makes me who I am or am I? These are things that has to do with your memories, your experience, your feelings, your thoughts, how you act in relationships, what you value. And of course, this is what really differentiates one person from the other. And it simply means when you talk about your identity or try to look for who you are, you have to break it down into certain components like values, experiences, relationship, and all the rest. So that also is something that when you are able to define, then it starts also giving you an idea of, do people really see me the way I see myself? Do people really know that this is my identity? So in order to do that and to be able to lead people, it's important that you ask that question. So for Sarah, who is one of our fictional case study here, she needs to be able to ask that question, who am I? How have I been leading the people or managing them? And what do they see? For James, who is transitioning from his design role to a leading role, same question applies. How has people seen me? Why was I given this opportunity? Do I know myself? Or should I find out who I am really so that I know how to act better in the places that people would expect me to become better, or at least that I need to for the sake of developing myself? And for John, who would like to transition into a leadership role in the future from his current PhD role, he would like to also know, what do I do now? And does that kind of personality or identity fit into what I want to do in the future? And that's why in looking at who you are, you look at your core values, you look at what kind of temperaments you have to figure out how you feel in different situations, what kind of behavior you put up. And this all leads to what kind of personality you are. And it simply means trying to figure out what are the type of personalities that are out there and which do you fall in. And there are a number of ways to do that. So when you talk about core values, you look at, am I passionate enough? Do I depend or value dependency or dependability? Am I someone who really values honesty or loyalty, optimism, or value reliability in what I do, or commitment or positivity? What kind of temperaments do I have? Am I the sanguine type that is always jovial to a fault sometimes, or the choleric that is very dominant also to a fault, like the end justifies uh, the means, or a melancholic who sometimes have self-esteem concern or doubt, but can also be a good planner, an idealist sometimes, or the flag who really is a perfectionist and sometimes rely on other people to tell them how good they are. And also there are other ways to check how you're feeling, what happened when do I feel happy? When do I feel afraid? What makes me feel sad, distracted, hopeless, and what makes me get shocked? Do I like surprises? All this you can factor. And, you know, looking at ethics, what affects my behavior in general, human behavior, my attitude, psychology. How do I look at it? Am I creative? You know, uh, does genetic have impact on what I do? How do I associate with other people? Do I socialize with others in a way and communicate in a way that is acceptable? What are my emotions like? and what knowledge do I have in the things that I do. And then my morals, my conduct. And also, to be able to check who you are, you can look at what you don't want to do, what you're bored of. For example, some people prefer that you don't talk to me, you know, or you prefer as a person to be bold to, you want someone to be bold to talk to you or not. And sometimes some people are like, don't ignore me, or don't try me, or don't love me. And for some, it's like, oh, it's bold of you to love me, and it's bold of you to talk to me that way. So you have to really figure out for yourself what matters. But this is also something that you not only use for yourself when you are with people or your own self, but you also can figure that out for others as well when you deal with them. And this is why it's so important for leadership and when you transition into managing people and moving up the ladder or pipeline of leadership. And with this, we will, in the other videos to come, explore various ways of checking personalities to give you an idea of how you can look at them. And it will be up to you to use those knowledge and use them effectively towards your leadership career or something that you want to do. Also, in general, dealing with people. Thank you, and see you in the next video.